Okay, we are live from a Kansas wheat field here in the central part of Kansas in, what county are we in? Barton County. And we are riding in the combine with Dean Stoskopf. And can you tell us a little bit about the wheat that we're cutting here, Dean?
This was continuous wheat. It's cedar. I'm guessing it's making in the 50s probably. Last fall, this particular area, we had no rain in August and September, so it was really dry when we planted it. And this spring, we were showing quite a bit of drought stress in April before we started getting those rains in May. So it's just amazing that we're cutting this kind of wheat with the limited amount of moisture we had this year.
So you started getting some rains in April and May. Can you tell us a little bit about the timing of those rains and how they benefited the crop?
Like I said, we were probably 10 days into pretty hard drought stress on this particular field. So the rains, we ended up in late April and May, we probably had 10 inches of rain up in this area spread out over those 6 weeks. And that was the cool filling period really helped bring the crop on and made it a pretty decent crop.
Okay, so what do you mean by the filling period? Does that affect how many kernels are in the heads or how big the kernels are?
Yeah, the filling period will determine the number of heads is already determined. The number of kernels is kind of determined at that time in the mesh or the rows. You can either have 2 or 3 kernels in that row. And when you get the third kernel in that row is when it really helps the yield, and it helps it fill and make a good plump kernel.
Okay. So tell us about your seed choices. How do you figure out what variety of wheat you want to plant in what area, and do you have choices or do you have to plant a certain kind of seed?
Well, we follow the K-State's field variety trials pretty heavily, and the local plots. We're only about 50 miles away from Hayes, so the Hayes experiment station really gives us a lot of data that works for this area. Right now, this year we've got 4 varieties planted. We usually try to plant at least 3 to 5 varieties. We try to plant 1 or maybe 2 new varieties each year and stick with something that standardizes the rest of the wheat.
Okay, so with this cedar variety, did you have any issues besides the drought stress? Other than that, has it done well? Did it have any diseases that bothered it, that type of thing?
It really has performed very well for us this year. We did not put any fungicide on the cedar because it's supposed to have pretty good resistance to stripe rust, and I think that resistance held pretty well. We had real good test weights and really good yield, so I think this year we got by without having to spray.
Okay, so you didn't have to spray any chemicals on this field or this crop at all?
As far as fungicides, no. We did put herbicide down this spring for weed control. That's the only chemicals that we put on it other than fertilizer.
Okay, so you did put a herbicide down to take care of the weeds in the crop. How do you know that none of those chemicals are then getting into the food?
The chemicals that like we used Ally on this, and those are a soil applied chemical early in either the fall or spring, and they stay in the soil. They don't come up, they're not translocated into the wheat at all.
Okay. So can you talk to us a little bit about, this is a family operation, is that correct? Do you have other employees, or how many people are involved in your farm?
Our daughter and son-in-law came back about a year and a half ago to come back to the operation. So Josh is working full-time with us. And then I've had a hired man that's worked for me for 23 years now. And he's had one son that's worked for me part-time during the summer. And then right now his two younger sons are helping. So at times there's four of his family that are working for us during harvest time.
Okay. So you previously have been involved in the Kansas Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Can you talk to us about kind of the importance of markets for your crop? First of all, where will you deliver this crop?
This particular field, we're going to United Ag Service, their branch in Stickney, Kansas. We also take grain to Agco, incorporated out of Russell. And then Barton Grain has a terminal facility east of Great Bend, but on occasion we'll also grain to them.
Okay. And then from those locations, you mentioned a terminal facility. Tell us what a terminal facility is.
The Bartlett facility has a unit train loading facility. That grain is accumulated there and shipped by unit train, mostly to, I believe, Mexico and in the Gulf area. It doesn't stop anywhere close. The United Ag Service has a small rail facility that they ship quite a bit of quality grain to the local grain mills in the state.
So part of your crop might be exported to countries like Mexico via rail, or transported by rail to the Gulf, where it then would be loaded on ships and transported to other countries.
Yeah.
And other part of it may stay in the United States and be milled into flour here.
Yeah, that's right. This area has a good reputation of having good quality wheat, as does all of the state. But a lot of the mills in the state of Kansas really like the wheat that comes out of this area for milling purposes. So there's a lot of our grain goes to the mills in the area.
And this is hard red winter wheat. So can you tell us kind of what those three different terms mean? Hard wheat, red wheat, and winter wheat?
The hard part of it is the kernel hardness and the density. The hard wheats are more your bread flour wheats, where a soft wheat is more the cookies and some of the Stoskopf. Winter wheat means that we plant the wheat in the fall, and then it comes up in the fall and grows, and it goes on in the winter time, and then it's harvested here, usually in June in this part of the state of Kansas.
Okay. And we also mentioned that it's red wheat. We also, in some areas in Kansas, grow some white wheat. But if you look at it in the field, you can't really tell that color difference. It's more in the kernel and the amount of tannins or color that those kernels have. So how many generations have been farming in your operation here? Are you a first generation farmer?
No, my great-grandfather came to this country in the 1870s and settled, and so he farmed. My grandfather, my father, myself, now our daughter, and then their kids will be the next generation. So we're a long tradition family in farming in Barton County.
And you've been here since the 1880s, is that what you said?
1870s.
1870s, wow. Are there any specific markets that you, while you were on the commission, had an opportunity to post out on your farm or travel to? What are some of our important international markets?
We had the opportunity to have a group of Nigerians here one year that visited during wheat harvest. We had a group of Koreans come by one year, which was a really not one of the really traditional big markets, but they do like a fair amount of Kansas wheat. And we've had some of the Mexican millers come to our area.
So why do they like to come to harvest?
Oh, it's exciting sitting here watching the wheat being cut. Look, they assess the quality of the wheat and look at it and kind of make some determinations of what they would like to buy.
So when did you actually get started this year on harvest? How many days have you been going?
We started on the days we're together, I think the 14th. So this is
the 16th?
17th. So this is our 4th day of cutting.
Okay, and so you have two combines running in this field. And this field that we're in right now is, did I hear, about 130 acres?
Yeah, around 140 acres.
140 acres. So with two combines running, how long does it take you to cut 140 acres?
This is a nice big flat field, so we should be able to get this cut in a day without too much problem. That's not starting real early or going real late. So.
And how many days of cutting do you think you have left?
We're a little bit over a third done, so we've probably got another week to go. We've got some wheat that's not quite mature yet. It's still moisture too high. So.
And is that because of the variety being a little bit later, or the area that it's in, or what is causing that?
Part of it is variety, and part of it is planting date. That was planted about 2 days later than this was, so that takes the maturity down a little. The later planted wheat is usually a little bit later, so varieties make quite a bit of difference too.
Well, so we were noticing that the sky was getting a little darker blue. Are we expecting some rainfall tonight?
Well, I think we got a 30 or 40% chance of rain. It's northwest of us right now and kind of slowly drifting this way.
So let's say it rains an inch on this field tonight. How many days would it take you out of the field?
An inch of rain with this 90, 95 degree days would probably take us out about 2 days.
Hopefully we are able to avoid any flooding or hail like they got in some areas this week.
So. This area we've been very fortunate. We missed the hail, any of the hail. We were really wet clear into the 1st of June, and then it dried off. So everybody's behind with everything else. So it's been a pretty frantic 3 weeks here in June.
So besides wheat, what other crops do you grow on your farm?
We have quite a bit of alfalfa and then grain sorghum, and then we have a cow-calf operation.
Well, do you have anything else you want to share with our viewers here this evening? Keep kind of get the sky up there. A little bit dark in that direction.
A little dark. For the model and the alfalfa, we need the rain. With the wheat, we can hold off for a few days. So, never want to turn down rain as long as we don't get the white stuff with it.
Yeah, that's true. I see you have an oil well over here. Can you tell us about that?
This is ground we rent, but Barton County has had oil production in it since the late 1930s. It's a pretty important part of the economy of Barton County. Yes, some of these wells right in this area have been here since the 1950s. They're still producing a little bit of oil. When oil prices are high, that really puts the economy in our county in this
to remind our viewers that we are in central Kansas in Barton County near Suisang. And actually from this area we can see about 3 grain elevators that are right around here. I don't know if you can see in the distance over there. Zoom in. So we are riding in the combine cab with Dean Stoskopf, who farms here in this area. And we are probably going to wrap it up for the night. Hopefully Dean is able to get the rest of this area cut this evening before any rains come in. We've seen a little bit of lightning in the distance, but hopefully it's going to miss us for a while. So thanks for joining us, and we will probably be live again tomorrow morning. Thank you.